thank you very much for inviting me here, and I'm happy to contribute with the space perspective. And of course, as you mentioned, it was great to have astronaut Pedro Duque introducing the subject of space for you who were here yesterday, and also talking about life on the International Space Station. Before entering specifically into tourism, I will briefly share my 24 years in the space sector. It will be short. So it also, but just to give you a small perspective, it started when I was a student in industrial design in Sweden. I got a unique opportunity to come to NASA Houston Johnson Space Center and working with all fantastic astronauts, engineers, people from all over the world. And specifically, it was a little space vehicle planned as a lifeboat for the International Space Station that we worked with as a diploma work that really got me so passionate about working in the space sector. And that inspired me so much that I decided to start my own company, Umbilical Design, and this was 2001. Initially only working with space architecture, with the astronauts and concept for habitation on Moon and Mars. But after working with them and realizing how much research that is actually going on the space station, we saw there are so much technologies and concepts and that we really wanted to bring back down to Earth and create new innovations, especially sustainable innovations, of course. So when people start talking more about circular economy, we thought that is what we've been working with all the time in the space sector. It might seem a bit strange for you who have not maybe been into the space sector, but if you look at future habitation on Moon and Mars and the space station, it's really like in a closed, and really everything is, we need to use everything again, and it's really circular, and we really want to now work and bring all this knowledge back down to Earth, of course. And Alexa, you mentioned the space data, and when it comes to the I.S.A.A.C report that was released last week, actually 50% of all this data comes from the satellites. And that also maybe not so many people are aware of how much knowledge we actually get from the space sector. And what's happening now with the satellites, I mean, they have always been sending enormous amounts of data back down to Earth, reporting on how our planet is feeling at the moment. We know it's not feeling so good, so we're also developing the satellites so they become smarter. So instead of now sending this a lot of data down to Earth, they now are processing also data in the satellites and sending down the relevant data, which makes life easier for us on Earth, of course.